Hey guys, my name is Raul Syed and I'm very happy to have you join me in my video series where I will be sharing with you how you can profit massively from properties in the USA. Since doing this in 2014, I have perfected a model that will allow non-US citizens to acquire properties in America paying as little as 10 to 20% of market value. Typically in Singapore and around the Asian region, when you talk about property investing, you will be thinking about acquiring property from the next upcoming property development, applying for a loan and paying market price for the property. Then you hold it for several years, hoping for capital appreciation while renting it out in the meantime. I don't know about you, but honestly it's a rather risky model because of the high amount of capital and loans that you will have to incur upfront before even realizing any form of gains. Imagine what is the potential instead if you could acquire properties paying only 10 to 20% of the market value. Would this interest you? Before I share with you the exact strategies of how this can be achieved, let me share with you how I actually got started in this business. Back in 2012, I made a trip to the USA where I did my skydiving course. At the same time, I also did a road trip across the US and attended a convention by Tony Robbins, Donald Trump, and Robert Kiyosaki. Yes, Donald Trump was a lot better back then. During this convention, there was also a speaker who spoke about the ability that you can acquire property in America paying a mere fraction of the property value. That got me really intrigued, and even more when I found out that you do not have to even be a US citizen. Anyone around the world can take advantage of this unique model of investing in US properties. When I eventually took up the course 2 years later, of course, I would discover the hard way that it was not as straightforward as I thought it would be, especially for a non-US citizen. There were tax consequences I was not aware of until much later, and the distance between Singapore and the US made everything a lot more difficult. Even things like choosing the right bank would cost me a few $1,000s just to do a simple transfer because the first bank I was with did not allow any form of online transfer to be made, and I had to make the trip to the US, walk into the branch, then make the transfer. All these challenges would cost me a lot of money. Having gone through these difficulties made me very determined to figure out a much simpler model to work with. Over the next few years, I have perfected a model whereby I could acquire properties in the US over the internet and without having to travel there. Using this model, I have been able to acquire multiple properties for myself and my clients, and in the last 10 months, we have acquired 34 properties in 7 states in America for our clients. The best part is we have almost 200 clients from 30 different countries all around the world, and none of them have ever need to travel to the US. Maybe at this stage, you may have the following questions in mind. I don't have enough time to do this by myself, I don't have enough capital to invest, and I don't know how to navigate the complex US market. These are in fact the exact same worries I had for myself before, and I am happy to say that the model that you will be learning through this video series will answer every single one of your concerns. So if you continue to follow this video series, you will be able to learn step by step the exact strategies that I have been able to apply for myself and my clients. Imagine yourself being able to acquire properties in the US paying only 10 to 20% of the market value over the internet and selling them off for a minimum of 30% profit. You don't need a few $100,000 to start. You don't need to do this full time. You don't need to apply for a loan. You don't need to travel physically to the US. You don't need to have years of experience. In fact, you don't even need to wait many years for the capital to appreciate. In fact, I dare say this may be the simplest and most affordable real estate business model you can find anywhere around the world. So before I go on to lesson 1 of this video series, I would like to show you a case study of one of the properties acquired using our business model. Now, understand, this is just one example and I have many more to share in the next few modules. So let's take a look. Alright guys, this is the case study as promised. It's located in Columbia, South Carolina. It's at 1717 Emerald Valley Road. So let's take a look. This is the exterior picture of the property. And if you see here, the garage door is kicking and it's a bit faulty. And the exterior doesn't look that bad, but the interior looks like this. So this is the part of the business that is not sexy. It's totally unsexy, but we take this as something that we love to do, and we transform this property eventually when we renovate it, and we will show you the pictures afterwards. We bought this property for $42,000 US is what we acquired for, and this is the renovated property, the interior itself. So this, the beauty of this, cost me about $30,000 to repair, okay, or rehab. The term that they use in America. So if you look at the property at the bottom, the floor doesn't look complete. It wasn't complete then, but when we eventually renovate the property, and then when we want to put it for sale and list to the market, we have to stage it. So the stage looks like this. Okay, so all in, we paid $42,000 for the property when we buy. We paid $30,000 for the renovation cost or rehab cost, and then all in $72,000. So this property, when we sold off for $130,000 US. Okay, so that represents a 72% ROI in less than 1 year. Bought this in July of 2018, sold it off last month, and this is 2019. So in annualized return of almost 100%. But for the project return, it's 72% ROI. Okay, so this is one example that we have, and take note, this is just one of many. We have many more properties that we have acquired and sold off, and depends on when you're watching this video, the quantity will be a lot higher. Okay, so if you stick through us in this video series, we will promise to share with you more of these examples so that you will be able to see more examples that we have potentially for yourself in the future as well. Okay, so thank you for watching this part. I'll see you at module 2 of this video series. Hey guys, it's Raul Syed again. Welcome to lesson 1. Today you will be learning the single most important concept about US real estate. When I first learned about this concept, I was totally mind blown. Now imagine knowing this concept, you will be able to acquire properties in America paying only 10 to 20% of market value. Have you ever heard of such an opportunity before? I was so excited, and frankly I wanted to keep this secret all to myself, but later I came to realize that important life-changing knowledge like this is meant to be shared for others to benefit too. Anyway, moving on. Do you recall from the previous video, I shared a case study, a property in Columbia, South Carolina, valued at $130,000 was acquired for just $42,000. Would you like to know how that was even possible? Now let's hop over to my screen and I'll show you how. Okay, before we get into the entire case study again, here I would like to explain to you the context of how we acquire the properties in America. Now in America, there's one important rule that everybody needs to understand. The first rule of real estate investing is that you make money when you buy, not when you sell real estate. So what would that mean exactly? This is where I'm going to explain to you. Okay, so why do we acquire US real estate? All right, first is because America as a country is huge. It's big. The country is so big that you will see how small we are, all right, later on a map. In terms of the size of all real estate in America, it's about $35 trillion big. That's with 12 zeros, guys. Okay, it's as big as some countries' economy put together. Okay, that's the value of all US real estate. If you see this particular map, that's the map of Singapore. You see that? That map is Singapore, and this is Malaysia, our big brother. Then you also have Indonesia down south to us, and this is the US. If you see this entire map, you see that US itself can encompass all our countries together, and we're still a lot smaller than America. Singapore is even smaller than some US counties. What I want you to take note of is on this map, do you see around the map in every state there are boundary lines? Now these are boundary lines of county, and that's very important for you to understand. County is where we would be referring to most of the time. County is like, example, the US is a country, California is a state, LA, Los Angeles is a county. Every county has their own form of government. If you own a property in the county, within the county boundary of LA, Los Angeles, you are supposed, as a homeowner, you are obligated to pay annual property tax to your LA county government. If your property is located within Dallas in Texas, Dallas is a county, you're supposed to pay property tax to Dallas county government. Easy to understand? Now, the important thing to understand is this. Not all homeowners across the US will be able to pay their tax on time. Okay, so before I go into that, let me show you how we acquire properties from the tax auction in America. It is what we call a tax auction. So if you have all property owners, they are supposed to pay property tax to the local county government, right? And the county government use these funds specifically for their the community development, such as hospitals, policemen, fire department, schools, roadworks, airport, harbor, bridge. All this requires funds to maintain and upkeep. So county government charge an annual property tax to all homeowners so that they can use those funds and pay for all these services. Okay, But as I mentioned earlier, as you all know, not all homeowners are able to pay their tax on time. There will be a small group of about 10 to 20% per year, sometimes as high as 30%, who will be unable to fulfill their property tax payment on time every year because of they either have lost a job, the owner has lost a job, they just went through a divorce, or some of them have died, they have passed on. So whenever you have a homeowner who have passed on, they either went through a divorce or they lost a job, most of the time, the county will not be able to receive any form of tax from them because they have different priorities then. Okay, so the county came up with a very, very smart way of ensuring continuous funds always come in to their coffers every year, regardless if the owner pay or don't pay. So this is the law. Okay, this in a nutshell, the law is like this. If you as a homeowner is unable to pay the county government your tax for that year on time, the county government by law have the right to ask someone else to pay your tax for you. Okay, alright, understand one more time. I'm going to repeat this. If you as a homeowner is unable to pay your annual property tax to your local county government on time for that year, the county government have by law the right to ask somebody else to pay your tax on your behalf. Okay. However, when you eventually pay off your tax, alright, you're supposed to pay off your tax with a penalty. And that is what the county government give in its entirety to the one who pay for you. So that's the incentive for somebody to pay for you. Okay. Alright. So let me show you there's two kinds of tax enforcement that you need to understand. One is tax lien certificate. The other one is tax deed. I'll explain what that means now. Okay, tax lien. You have a homeowner who bought a property for about a $200,000 property. A typical American family will probably take a loan, and the loan is about $180,000, a mortgage. Okay, and then you have the county government. So this house is located within, example, Miami, Florida. Okay, Miami, Florida house, $180,000 for the mortgage, $200,000 in value. Every year, the homeowner pays about $2,700 in tax. This is just an example to the county government. And the county government uses those funds, okay, to pay for things like I mentioned earlier, police, fire, schools, roadworks, and all this. Okay. Unfortunately, for that one particular year, Mr. John lost his job. Alright, he's unable to pay his tax, so the county will not receive any money, about $2,700 for the year, and he will have a shortfall to pay for all the county services that they're supposed to pay for. And it's not just John. In Miami alone, you have up to 30,000 different homeowners who will be late every year. Whether the economy is doing well or not well, they will always be late. Okay, so this is a problem for the county. So they came up with a method whereby, as I said earlier, if you're unable to pay me your tax, I have the right to ask someone else to pay for you. So herein comes the investor. This investor can be from anywhere across the world. It can be you, me, can be someone from Africa, from South America, it can be anybody. Okay, you only need to be 18 and be able to sign the document. That's about it. Of course, you need to be able to pay for the amount of tax. So, homeowner is in deficit of 2000. County is in deficit of 2007 from the homeowner. Okay, so the investor will then step in to pay the 2007 to the county government. All right, county government will then issue what we call a tax lien certificate. Now, this is all taking place at an auction. So as I said earlier, there are about 30,000 other homeowners who's late. So the county government is selling 30,000 liens. All right. So you as an investor can be buying as many as 1, 2, 5, 20, 200, as many as you want. Depends on your budget. Okay. So if you are the winner of the auction for that tax lien, you will be issued a tax lien certificate that you see here on the slide. Okay. And on the certificate, all right, there will be terms and conditions. One of it will indicate how long is the redemption period. Okay, so the redemption period, example in Florida state law, it indicates a redemption period of 2 years, starting from the date that you acquire the lien at the auction. So now it means the homeowner have 2 years to pay off the 2,700 plus penalties or interest that will be applied to them. All right, and you as an investor will get to receive the amount of the principal or your 2007 plus the interest. All right, that is your incentive. Why do investors give money? All right, investor gives money because they're incentivized to earn the 18% or whatever percent, 12%, 16% from the homeowner who pays them off. Now, these are penalties. These are guaranteed by state law. The law is the one that determines how many percent. So, in the state of Florida, here, in where we're talking about Miami, all right, the maximum interest or penalty that you can get is 18%, 1/8. If you agree with me, 18% is a lot higher than the bank or fixed deposit or CDs that you can get outside. It is stable, it is fixed, it's guaranteed by law. The law states the homeowner must pay the principal plus the penalty, and you as the investor will receive everything. Okay, so in this case, the homeowner pays the 2007 at 18% penalty, and the county will be the one doing all the work. They collect the funds from the homeowner, all right, 2007 plus $486, and give it all to you, the investor. So what happened is, your tax lien is now redeemed. Okay, the homeowner has redeemed your tax lien. You have gotten the money, all right, and the tax lien you're holding is now redeemed. Are you happy? I'm sure you are, because you now receive an extra 18% on your investment. Sounds nice? It sounds good? This is something anybody around the world can buy, but this is not buying property. Okay, all right. Now, let me explain tax lien a little further before we move on and explain what tax lien and something else works. Cool. So what happens then if homeowner after 2 years didn't pay? Okay, what happens if homeowner fails to pay within the 2 years redemption period, which means that you are not going to receive a single cent, all right, from anybody. Okay, maybe as the example earlier, I said the homeowner could have lost his job, lost his life, or lost his marriage, right? So example, in this case, the homeowner has died. They've moved on, there's no heirs to take over the property, and it just the taxes just went under, and nobody's paying. So the county government is not going to be the one paying the taxes for him. The county will never ever do that. Okay, so what happened is, now homeowner will not redeem the tax lien after 2 years. 2 years has passed, so there's no property tax paid, principal penalty is not paid. County government will not be able to give you the principal plus your profit, right? Okay, so in that case, what happened? The law will further continue to protect you, the investor. Okay, you, the investor, will now, okay, be given title to the property. You see that? The property is valued at $200,000. Sounds good? Great. All right. So, but unfortunately, you realize mortgage of $180,000 is still in existence, right? No. All right. So what happened is, the mortgage would be further extinguished from the title of the deed. Okay, so when you receive the property, you will just pay 2007 plus an additional year taxes, and the mortgage will be wiped off the title, and you receive the house free and clear of any liens or encumbrance. Okay, the county will issue the deed over to you. Sounds good, right? Okay, so this is how it works. This is in general a nutshell. Florida has a little different in the system, but it's okay. At least you understand the context of tax lien right now. This is in summary how it works for tax lien. Okay, you invest 2007 plus an additional 2007. If you did not receive you did not receive your principal plus your interest, which means the income, you will instead receive and get the property. If I were to ask you, how many of you prefer to receive property? Most of you prefer property, right? Rather than the interest. Okay, why? Because the property is a lot higher in value compared to the tax lien. Okay, it's very natural. Everybody wants to receive the property. Okay, unfortunately, in this case, how many percent of the chance in a tax lien scenario would you get the property? It's about 10 to 15% of the chance. You will not get the property most of the time. Okay, most of the time you will receive the interest or the penalty. Okay, a small percentage of the time you will get the property. Okay, so in this slide you will see all the different states across the US and how many percent maximum would you get interest from the state. Okay, so the state Arizona, for example, is 16% per year. It's 3 years. So redemption period varies across states, and the percentage interest also varies across state. The highest is in Illinois. Okay, Illinois is 36% a year for 3 years. Okay, every year. And Florida is 18%, Georgia is 20%, New Jersey 18%, Nebraska 14%. Every state has different law and have different interest rates. Okay, so what I have explained to you just now, is how it works for the state in green. Do you see the map? The state in green works using tax lien as an example, all right, that you will have to buy the tax lien certificate first. Okay, that's how it works in the state in green. And as I mentioned earlier, America is a huge country. There are 50 different states, and every state wrote their own law. Okay, the green states, they sell tax lien. What about the one in red? The one in red, if you recall from a slide earlier, there's two types of tax enforcement. One is tax lien, the other one is tax deed. So the one in red, how it works is through the concept of tax deed. Now, tax deed means that you will receive the property immediately from the auction. Okay, if you are the homeowner, you are late with your tax to the county for several years. The county will not issue any lien and ask someone else to pay for you. No, all right, it doesn't work that way. The county will give you a timeline, a deadline that you have to pay your tax. If you don't pay your tax by a certain deadline, the county will foreclose on your property, take over your property, right? Foreclose on your property, and then sell your property immediately at auction. So if your property is valued at $200,000, you owe the county every year $2,000. For 3 years, you did not pay your tax and the county foreclosed. All right, so it means that you owe the county about $6,000. Add all the penalties and interest that you're late for the 3 years, becomes $10,000. So the county now wants to recoup the $10,000 owed to them. So when they sell your property at the auction, the investor can buy your property from as little as $10,000. Okay, that is a starting bid price. All right, and then from there the amount will go up, depends on who is at the auction. Okay, at the auction it will be someone who bid 10, 15, 20, 30, 40,000. With the right information and right understanding of how much maximum you should bid for, you have a maximum bid amount that you can bid your property at. Okay, all right, so let's say you win the property at 40,000, a $200,000 property, you pay 40,000 during the auction, and then you immediately will receive occupancy right to the house. You will have immediate possession of the house, paying only $40,000 for a $200,000 property. Now that is what I do all the time with all my investors. Okay, we prefer to buy tax deed as fast as possible. We acquire the tax deed from the auction, the property from the auction, and we get immediate possession of the property, and we quickly fix it up and sell it off for a profit. Okay, our margins is a lot higher than tax lien. All right, so the state in red, they sell tax deed. You buy the property immediately. All right, that's how they work. So you don't buy any tax lien for the state in red. For the state in blue, they do both. They have both liens and deeds. So some county they sell tax lien, some county they sell tax deed. Okay, so the state in blue. For the state in yellow, they call it redemption deed. It's a bit different. It's a hybrid of deed and lien. It's a hybrid. So if you were to buy the property in Texas, the $40,000 property apply in Texas, all right, the previous owner have the right to acquire back or redeem back the property from you, the investor. You pay $40,000 for the property. The previous owner will be able to get the property back from you by paying $40,000 plus 25% penalty. All right, $40,000 plus 25% penalty. If he pays that, he can get your property back. All right, so that is how it works in the redemption deed state. If it's in Georgia, it's 20%. Texas is 25%, and they only have 6 months in Texas. In Georgia, they have 1 year. So all this can get it's an information overload for a newbie. So don't worry about this. It's something that we will be able to guide you. We'll be able to guide you on how you can go on this journey for your investment step by step. Okay, we have simplified the model a lot easier that you don't have to worry about every single state that have different laws, different percentage. Don't worry. Don't get too overwhelmed by that. Okay. Here is a video that I want to share with you on an auction that was happening, that was there in Houston. Let's take a look. 11,200. Alright, so if you see this particular auction video, right, you will see that there's a lot of people at the auction, and there are a lot of people who don't look Americans there. Okay, so in what I'm trying to explain to you is that you don't have to be an American citizen to be able to buy property. Most of them look Asian or Middle Eastern, if you see in this video. Okay, so you fret not. So don't worry about whether I need US citizenship, I need PR. Look, doesn't matter. Anyone across the world can buy properties in America. We have the method for you to do so safely. Okay, so if you are interested to know more about how we can do this, there's a simplified model, but we have generated a simplified model for every single investor from across the world to be able to access the US real estate market safely, securely, and profitably. Okay, so join us in the next few videos, and we will go with you step by step on how you will be able to acquire property with Noble Sky Institute. All right, thank you so much for watching this video, and I look forward to see you at the next video.